My name's Aaron, and I'm developing real estate. A few years ago, I purchased raw land in northwest Montana, and since then, I've been transforming it into a home while learning lots of cool things along the way. In this video, I'm going to talk about roofs and how I built mine. Roofs are arguably one of the most important parts of a structure because they keep the weather out. We get a lot of different types of weather here, so there's some special considerations that were put into this roof. This is a traditional rafter and ridge board design using 2x6 rafters, 16-inch on center. The eaves are going to be 16 inches on the main walls and then 18 inches extending off of the gable. I'm going to be using 1/2-inch CDX ply for my roof sheathing. This is a vented roof assembly. Air will be drawn up through the bottom of the soffits and then out vents near the ridge. These rafters will be attached to the ridge board by using LRU28Z rafter hangers. The ridge board is 22 feet 8 inches long, so we're going to be doing a glue up operation with two 2x8s. I'll be needing something to stand on while I build this roof, so first we're building the attic floor. This will be 3/4 inch TNG CDX plywood. So don't do what I did and cover your ceiling joists with a tarp in order to try to keep the weather off of you, because what ends up happening is the gaps will fill with water and then freeze and form these giant ice blocks that makes the tarp impossible to remove. So I ended up just sacrificing that tarp and ripping it up in order to get it off. So now let's go ahead and get a real ceiling up here by lifting up all of this sheet material. Reach that camera. Tripod center the shot. Oh yeah. Today we're putting the attic floor on. Bigger job than I thought it would be, which is true for everything I do, I suppose. Well, screw down this corner, I guess, we'll pre-drill the hole on the edges. That's what we do. Beautiful February day. So eventually I got the whole attic floor on. It was a little more difficult than I thought it'd be, but it went together all right. Now this is going to give me a flat surface to work on to start doing the roof framing. So let's glue up the ridge board. Right here, I'm making sure that the screws do not interfere with the placement of the rafter hangers. Moderately lined up. I'll be using a polyurethane expanding foam glue, which is just Gorilla Glue. This is a pretty standard glue that they use for all laminated ridge beam designs. Right in the center. This guy wants custom glue lamps. Custom glue lamps. So we wait one day for our ridge board glue to dry. I'll be using these temporary braces to hold the ridge board to the proper height. Okay. 32. So it's supposed to be there. If we go a little higher, no, can't do that. We can go a little lower. And then we can go, so that marks the top point. Want the weeble wobble. So now we lift this up, place it on that. I think I got this. Okay, rotate. Okay, all right. So we lift this up. Oh yeah. Oh, it's a ridge board. It's very exciting. Before I install the roof rafters, I need to notch a slot into the shear wall sheathing because it extends above the top plate. This way the rafter can sit flush onto the surface. Instead of taking the whole perimeter of the sheathing off, I'm just going to use a router to create slots into the sheathing. Now I'm going to do the rafter cuts, making sure to go no more than 1/3 depth into the 2x6. And then we can tap a tap. Is it bigger, longer? This winter's new. Here's an example of one rafter that I had to redo because I didn't figure out that I needed to cinch them together up to the ridge board prior to installing the bracket. So I got all the rafters up. This job was actually relatively simple. So I'm going to be installing these H1Z hurricane ties at the point where the rafter connects with the top plate. So now I'm going to run a string line and do plumb cuts across all of the rafter tails. In order to get the barge rafters lined up with the rest of the rafters, I clamped on these temporary 2x6s, then placed them on top of these prior to screwing them down. This makes sure that the roof sheathing will be lined up in plane with the rest of the roof. And here's what they look like installed. Now, let's move on to installing the fly rafters. Bad is it? Next up, we need to frame the gable attic walls. The way I'm going to frame this is by first installing the top plates, then the bottom plate, and then I'll frame in the stud members in place. Yep. Let's see if this will go in. A wee bit hair. Kind of square. Mostly square. Oh boy. This one looks a little better. Sort of. Is this even load bearing? I'm not even sure. Might be. Might be. Without being a bitch. pile of shit. Decent shot for YouTube though, huh? Oh, the YouTube. Okay. Get off corner. Okay. I don't know, man. I think it's probably as accurate as you possibly can be. So you're plumb in the center, right? And then you'll plumb it over there, too? Yes. Is that how you use a plumb? No idea how to use this. It kind of works, I guess. It's just like wiggle wobbly, though. Like, how long are you supposed to wait for it to dissipate that pendulum? Okay, lock. Goes in. Now, the 23-inch. Now, can we reach there? In the middle like this? And that is how I framed my roof. Hey, you! If anything I'm doing looks interesting to you, you can leave a comment down below or email me. I'm looking to collaborate with people doing similar types of projects, especially if you're in the Montana area.